Chapter 71 The Purest and Purest Creature in the World, Pokémon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, Huo Yu looked at Bai Xian with envious eyes. She thought about whether Bai Xian was lying to her, but Bai Xian had no reason to deceive her at all, so it is very likely that Bai Xian was invited by a great existence to enter a platform of the nature of the heavens, and on that platform, there are even characters from the anime world such as Uchiha Madara and Whitebeard. I'm so envious. She really wants to enter that platform. Obviously Mingxuan's superpowers are so powerful. But he even joined such an unbelievable place. God is so unfair. But although envious, but there is no way, but I didn't expect that the world and those anime really existed. Those people in the country know that they may not even care about the recovery of spiritual energy. Huo Yu shook her head. Anyway, this kind of thing has nothing to do with her, and it is not something she should consider. As a soldier, she just needs to obey orders. Then what anime world are they? I don't think I've seen them. Huo Yu carefully poked Pikachu who was stretching out on the table, and then Pikachu rubbed her fingers very intimately. She felt like her heart would melt like that. So cute, really cute. It can be regarded as an anime in another world, but our world doesn't exist. Pokémon, also called Pokémon, Pokémon. They have all kinds of abilities and attributes. The top Pokémon even have the power not inferior to the gods. They can travel through time, control the sea, revive the dead and even create planets. They live on the earth, live in peace with humans, and even become partners with humans, embarking on the path of the world's strongest trainers. Bai Xian said softly, I still remember that when he first started watching Pokémon, he was very eager to enter the world of Pokémon. Although there are also various class restrictions and villains there are the purest and purest creatures in the world. That's the little elves. Once they follow you, they will wait for you no matter how long it takes. This kind of purity is the real thing that you can't touch under all kinds of hypocrisy in this world. Unexpectedly, after crossing, he did not enter the world of Pokémon, but came to a parallel world, but accidentally joined the chat group and fulfilled his previous wish. Traveling through time. Controlling the sea. Reviving the dead. Create a planet. Huo Yu looked at Pikachu lying in her arms in surprise. Although she felt that Pikachu's body contained not weak power, she never thought that the top Pokémon would be so strong. But look at Pikachu's style of painting again. Well, after all, it is a creature in the anime world, so it is normal to be stronger. Can I report these things? Huo Yu touched Pikachu's head, looked at Bai Xian and asked. If I say no, will you not say it? Bai Xian looked at Huo Yu speechlessly. It's not like he didn't know who Huo Yu was. It can be said that Huo Yu is the line of communication between him and the country. If he can tell Huo Yu these things, he is naturally prepared for her to tell the country. I'm not expressing my attitude. Huo Yu also said in embarrassment that her identity meant that it was impossible for her to hide these things. Asking is just a process, but it seems that the answer should be very clear. Huo Yu didn't stay any longer, and after hearing such exciting things from Bai Xian, the key is that she doesn't mind revealing it, so she will naturally share it. She couldn't be the only one who was pretended to be shocked. How boring. Bai Xian didn't care about Huo Yu's departure. After playing with Pikachu for a while, he went to the chat group to check. During his absence, the chat group seems to have undergone a new change. Ordinary group leader. Congratulations, the king of revived spiritual energy is born. She is the leader of the chat group who is a combination of devil fruit, Sharingan, and three-color domineering, transcending the times, and knowing the past and future of most of the world. Ordinary group leader, wow ha 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 ha. Ordinary group leader, little peers, dare to be presumptuous, under the flames of my holy angel, why not obediently beg for mercy? Boil Daegu into soup. Uchiha Dance King. That be my son. The richest man in the lighthouse. As soon as I came in, I saw the group leader in the second class. The glory of the northern god, unlucky.jpg. Ordinary group leader with akimbo.jpg. Ordinary group leader, what are you barking at? Ordinary group leader, I'm just a second-year-old child, let's go crazy, what are you barking like a dog? The richest man in the lighthouse. You actually know that you are so familiar with the dog bark in the second language. I seem to have heard it somewhere. Worst elf, Is there a possibility that you are the one who said this first? Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu, woohoo, I'm back from school. Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu, let's have a cup of Coke first. Gurgling. Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu, like. Jpg. Electric shocker, you changed your name again. Electric shocker, from changing size anywhere, to Gan Wu Miai, and then to Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu. Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu, it feels like this is exactly the same as the name of Minecraft posted by the group leader. Gan Wu Miai Xiaobu, speaking of this, I remembered that I drew a lottery, and I actually got a hamster pillow. Although I like it very much, it feels uncomfortable to think that I got a hamster pillow in this kind of lottery that obviously has a lot of good things. At the very beginning, someone told them about the lottery draw, but she didn't open it because she was expecting and nervous. She planned to open it sometime, but ended up opening a hamster pillow. It's okay, but it always feels like a loss. She thought she could get something better. Electric shocker, draw a lottery. Speaking of this, Misaka Mikoto thought of what she had drawn. She didn't look like Xiaobu who drew the lottery later because she was nervous. She knew it at the time and then directly drew the lottery under their instigation. Then, I got a pair of safety pants. It still has the pattern of her and Gutai, and there is a sentence on it, the electric light that dances on your fingertips is my faith in this life. Although she looks like a fan no matter from the pattern or this sentence, why should this be engraved on the safety pants? Shirts, t-shirts, school uniforms, what kind of clothes are not allowed? In the end, it turned out to be this. Hentai. So no matter how curious the group owner and the others were, she didn't say anything, and went offline embarrassingly. Ordinary group owner, I feel that the chat group is very peaceful recently. Ordinary group leader, Uchiha Madara hasn't been resurrected, Naruto hasn't been born, the battle on the top is gone, Sister Pao's plan still needs time, Kwang-san is still fighting wits and courage with the original elves, Sister Dongfang is going to unify the rivers and lakes are robbing cheap books. Ordinary group leader, the only wonderful thing is that Daegu finally transformed into Dija. End of this chapter. Chapter 72. Do you want to dance? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the process is not the same as the original plot, the two giant stone statues were not destroyed by Gorzon but were recycled by Daegu to the chat group, but the ending is similar. The two monsters gave blood a pass. The use of light at the end is also very skillful, just destroying the heads of two monsters, and then recycling their corpses in a wave, just relying on the two Ultraman stone statues and the corpse of the monster. Daegu directly obtained 20 points and became the richest person in the chat group. The key is sustainable transactions. There are a lot of monsters in Tiga world. It's a pity that Daegu's luck was not very good, and he didn't get any good things after spending half of the points. Boil Daegu into soup. I don't know why, I always feel that someone is talking about myself. Ordinary group leader, you must be wrong. Ordinary group owner, but it's really boring recently, and there are no newcomers in the chat group. Ordinary group owner, I've been here for several months, why haven't newcomers been invited to the chat group yet? Son of nature, this kind of thing is inherently random, and generally speaking, the group leader should be the first to know that a newcomer has joined the group. Ordinary group owner, then this chat group has to be an ordinary chat group, but it's too unusual. Ordinary group owner, it's a waste. Worst elf. Worst elf, aren't you worried about being banned? Ordinary group leader, just kidding. Su Yunchin, would be afraid of such things. Ordinary group owner, if it can get two newcomers in now, let alone being banned, I can call it daddy. Ding, luck fluctuations detected. Ding, group members, father, son, filial piety, old things, join the chat group. Ordinary group leader. The richest man in the lighthouse, everyone, it's a party. The richest man in the lighthouse, congratulations that our group leader now has a father. Be my son, although the group owner doesn't want to be my daughter. If it's a chat group, the old man has no objection. Ku-la-la-la. The worst elf, congratulations. Golden Flash, the group leader is similar to me, but I'm going to be a father soon, and you have recognized a father. Dongfang Booby, ft. That's it. Meow, unbelievable, meow. Ordinary group leader, what the hell? Ordinary group leader, are you targeting me? Are you definitely targeting me? Ordinary group leader, as soon as I opened my mouth, you immediately invited a newcomer over, and there was only one. Ordinary group leader, if you say it was an accident, I won't believe it, that she just said that a newcomer was invited to the chat group called Daddy. If it wasn't for her words, she would wash her hair upside down. Ding, there is no violation in the chat group, and the newcomers joining the group is also a coincidence. Ding, please don't slander the group leader. Ding, it is detected that the group owner has guaranteed language, please implement it immediately, and be sure to maintain the principle of integrity. The voice of the chat group rang in the ears of everyone, but this content, ordinary group leader. Ordinary group owner, you do this kind of thing and then keep me honest. Ordinary group leader, you should invite 2 more. Ordinary group leader, Su Yunqing, am not a person who doesn't count my words, but next time I must invite 2 more newcomers, Dad. Son of nature. Worst elf, I thought there would be a quarrel. Boil daegu into soup, I thought so too, but I misunderstood the group leader. The richest man in the lighthouse, I am convinced by this call, no wonder she can be the leader of the group. Ganwu Miai Xiaobu, to be precise, the chat group and the group leader have the same personality, and they are very compatible. Dancer Uchiha, indeed. Electric shocker, doesn't anyone care about the newcomer's name? Father loving son filial piety old thing. What the hell kind of name is this? There are still such group names, Ganwu Miai Xiaobu, actually, it's okay, it's much better than my initial size change. Electric shocker, this cannot be denied. Ordinary group leader, I can't think of this name at all. Many anime have famous scenes of fathers being kind and sons being filial. Ordinary group leader, for example, Tai Luo and Tai Jia, Jeet and Beria, Hongdae and Xiao Du. Can't you guess it at all? Ordinary group leader, can you guess it? Son of nature, do you think I can guess it? Even the old man with the white beard is a kind father and a filial son. Of course, Bai Xian couldn't guess it either. There aren't too many scenes of loving fathers and sons filial piety in the anime, so how could he guess it, but this name does have something in it, be my son. Be my son, unexpectedly irrefutable. No matter what kind of meaning the father is kind and the son is filial, he can be regarded as sitting in it. Tiki and his father are kind and filial, or Ace and his father are kind and filial, father is kind and son is filial to old things, a chat group that spans the heavens and worlds, the father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. Oh, how could I believe such a thing? The father is kind and the son is filial to the old man, there is still this name, what a bad name, that the father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. It seems that I have slept for too long, and I have some hallucinations in my mind. Worst elf, no. Worst elf, although I don't know which world you are from, if you don't believe it, you can go to the memory copy in the chat group. You can look at it as the history of other worlds. The worst elf, if it's an illusion, no one would be able to conceive so many illusory worlds, right? Father is kind and son is filial to the old man, the worst elf. Father is kind and son is filial to the old man. It's interesting to dare to use the name of the worst. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. Elves, are you an unknown race? The most evil elf, Allah, it seems to be exaggerated, but I am not an innate elf, I was transformed from a human being the day after tomorrow. Father is kind and son is filial to old things, human. The father is kind and the son is filial to the old man, now I can be sure that I am not hallucinating. Ordinary group leader, why? Father is kind and son is filial to old things, because in my illusion, it is impossible for human beings to talk to me on an equal footing. Father is kind and son is filial to old things, they should kneel in front of me and talk to me respectfully. Ganwu Miai Xiaobu. Ordinary group leader. Electric shocker. Uchiha Dance King, I really dare to say it. Uchiha Dance King, do you want to dance too? Be my son, ku la la la, I really heard something amazing. Be my son, I hope your strength can match your words. End of this chapter. Chapter 73 8 Immortals Crossing the Sea, Lu Dongbin, are you still a monster? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The richest man in the lighthouse, it sounds like a relatively noble non-human race in a certain world, but it's a pity that you picked the wrong place. The richest man in the lighthouse. Do you know how many human bosses there are in this chat group? The richest man in the lighthouse. You are finished, you little bastard. Most of the members of this chat group are human beings. And they are not weak humans. The strongest man in the world, with a white beard that can shake the world. Although he died, he can directly summon meteorites after resurrection, the extremely powerful Uchiha Madara in the 6 realms. Namikaze Minato, who is extremely fast in the ninja world and has a vortex physique, does not need to worry about chakra issues. In charge of the power of time, Tokisaki Kurumi can be called the most incomprehensible. Mastering the power of nature is enough to control all kinds of elements in the world, which can be called Baishien, who is hanging in the middle. And he, the Iron Man Tony Stark, who combines wisdom and courage, is comparable to a god in a human body. What kind of opponent can compete with them? The father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. Interesting. Are you threatening me? That the father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. Ha ha ha. Father is kind and son is filial to the old man. If Lu Dongbin hadn't sealed me back then, how could mere human beings have resisted my conquest? Ordinary group leader, Lu Dongbin. Ordinary group leader, seal. Ordinary group leader. Could it be the 8 immortals crossing the sea? Ordinary group leader, you're still a monster. That the father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. Monster. I am the demon of fire. The whole of Asia is my territory. Ordinary group leader, oh. Ordinary group leader, who am I supposed to be? It turns out to be the Holy Lord. Ordinary group leader, forget it, I can understand what you said just now. Ordinary group leader, you are also a poor person. Su Yunqing knew it when he saw the fire demon. She thought who it was, so arrogant. After a long time, it turned out to be the Holy Master, son of nature. From the tone of your voice, you probably haven't met Jackie Chan yet, or you just knew about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to say such arrogant words. Ganwumiai Xiaobu, how do you feel that after the group leader and Bai Xian knew the identity of the newcomer, the originally tense atmosphere suddenly changed? Boiled daegu into soup. Is this Holy Master a good person? Child of nature, good guy. Son of nature, no, as he said, he is a demon, the Lord of Fire demon, who rules Asian countries, and he is extremely cruel. Son of nature, he is certainly not a good person from a human point of view, and he is not even a good devil from a devil's point of view. He is the one who talks back and forth and is cunning. Ordinary group leader, the main reason for the change in attitude is that he is quite pitiful. Ordinary group leader, obviously the strength is not bad, and the strength is also very strong, but because of luck, I have been sealed 8 times in a row. Ordinary group leader, it is estimated that it is still in a sealed state. If you want to come out, you have to wait. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. The father is kind and the son is filial to the old man, 8 times. I have only been sealed twice. Uchiha Dance King, idiot, it's your future. The richest man in the lighthouse, is this old thing strong? Ordinary group leader, very strong. Son of nature, very strong. Ordinary group leader, I don't know about Thanos with 6 infinite gems, but Thanos without infinite gems must be beaten by the Lord. Ordinary group leader, the setting of the 12 talismans is very powerful. Among other things, just looking at the ability of the mouse spell, you can know how powerful the 12 spells are. It turns static into dynamic, and can bestow the statues of gods and the abilities of fictional characters who break through other dimensions. In the plot, the 12 talismans did not exert their true powerful power at all. Another example is the bull talisman. Its ability is infinite, greatly enhancing the strength of the holder, and at the same time, it can also make the holder's muscles grow extremely strong. But in the final analysis, it does not endow the opponent with strength out of thin air. Instead, it amplifies the power of the original. If the user itself has extremely powerful power, the increase in power of the bull charm will be even more terrifying. Ordinary group leader, anyway, the Holy Master with 12 spells is definitely a terrifying powerhouse, but, as long as there are Daddy, Jackie Chan and Xiao Yu, no matter how strong he is, it's useless. Ordinary group leader, but just in case, I still don't send out the memory copy of Jackie Chan's Adventures World, in case he changes the plot. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. Is it too late for me to take back what I said before? Su Yunqing and Bai Xian both talked about this. If the Holy Master is not sure that the chat group is real, he is really stupid. Was he actually sealed 8 times in the future? Damn, why did he say these things just now? Boil Daegu into soup, what do you think? The worst elf, it's over. Ganwu Miai Xiaobu, unfortunately, I can't see the new show. Ganwu Miai Xiaobu, can the memory copy be sent privately? Ordinary group leader, it's okay, anyway, just don't let the Holy Master see it. Ordinary group leader, hey, I don't know when the function of traveling through the world will be activated. If it is possible, then I will go directly to the world of the Holy Lord and snatch all his 12 charms. Anyway, he won't ask for it. Use. Child of nature, add 1. Although most of the Holy Lord's 12 spells are useless to him, there are a few that he still wants, for example, the rat charm that can turn static into movement, and the horse charm that can cure all physical and magical abnormalities. These were the 2 spells he wanted the most. The ability of the horse talisman is not bad, and he can also do it by relying on natural authority. If he wants to learn more, he can learn from its principles, but the rat charm's ability to turn static into dynamic is indeed a terrifying ability, which can allow the host to obtain the said ability. If he made a stone statue in the shape of Uchiha Madara, then put the mouse charm on it to become a living Uchiha Madara who can use sharing eyes and ninjutsu. The specifics depend on the upper limit of the rat charm. Can you have the terrifying power of Uchiha Banana in the plot? Of course, he mainly wanted to make a stone statue of Doraemon and resurrect Doraemon with the mouse charm. It doesn't matter what the props are, he just simply wants a Doraemon. Father is kind and son is filial to the old man. You actually covet my power. Ordinary group leader, what's the matter? Anyway, it's nothing but dust for you. Ordinary group leader, either being sealed or on the way to be sealed. What's the use of these spells? Ordinary group leader, at worst, I will leave you a mouse charm. Son of nature, no, once the Holy Lord is resurrected, the ambition in his heart will be ignited. There are no 12 spells and magic energy. Time and time history. Son of nature, it is best to exist as a statue. Son of nature, so, I pre-ordered the rat charm. End of this chapter. Chapter 74 Immortal Life, Eternal Youth, 2 The shock of the spell to everyone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 74 Immortal Life, Eternal Youth, the shock of the 12 spells to everyone. Father is kind and son is filial to the old man. The father is kind and the son is filial to the old man. Would you like to see what you said? Are all the people in this chat group so arrogant? Other spells are fine, my holy lord can bear it at worst, but the rat spell. The rat talisman is related to his resurrection plan. Without the rat talisman he can only be a statue. How could he give such a thing to someone? Son of nature, it's a pity that the travel function has not been activated yet, otherwise I would like to get it sooner. Son of nature, I can only see if I can get it from the lottery function. There must be 12 charms in the lottery pool now, but the possibility of obtaining rat charms in so many worlds is too small. Boil Daegu into soup, even Bai Xian is so coveted. Is that mouse charm very strong? Ordinary group leader, turning stillness into movement, it's terrifyingly strong. Ordinary group leader, let's put it this way, I can even use the mouse charm to create a Uchiha Madara, white beard, and even you Daiko. Ordinary group leader, although it is more like your avatar, not as powerful as you, but there are everything you should have. Ordinary group leader, the only pity is that you may not be obedient. Ordinary group leader, this is a problem. The rat charm can turn dead objects into living things, even things like pencils and erasers, but because they have their own consciousness, they may not necessarily obey the orders of the person who has the rat charm. This is also a big flaw of it. Ding, the group member, Son of Nature, uploaded a memory copy. Son of Nature, I uploaded the ability of the 12 talismans, because it is only the information I know about the 12 talismans, so it may not be true. Son of Nature, for details, you still need to ask the Holy Lord himself, because the 12 charms belong to his power. Son of Nature, of course, it's hard to say whether he will tell you. Because it was just information, they didn't waste too much time, and soon everyone finished reading the power of the 12 spells. Then there is a series of boil daegu into soup. Boil daegu into soup, I feel as if I saw something incredible. Be my son, no wonder the group leader and Bai Xian want it so much. The 12 talismans are indeed extremely powerful. Uchiha Dance King, eternal life, eternal youth. Can the holder never die and stay young, and can be immune to death and all fatal attacks on the holder? Uchiha Dance King, there is such a thing against the sky, that if he could possess the dog charm, not only would he not die, but he would not become that old man. This is his dream ability. Be my son, though the other spells are just as scary, the dog spell is the one I want the most. Few strong men like to grow old, time will take away his strength, make him no longer able to protect his son, the worst elf. If you want to grab it, please take me one. Worst elf, the dog charm is for me. For her who needs time, the dog charm and Kukadi are a perfect match. Kukadi, who doesn't need to consider loss, will become the enemy's nightmare. Boil daegu into soup, although the dog charm is also scary, I am more curious about the cow charm, which is really a bit scary. Boil daegu into soup, it can increase the strength of the holder by at least 100 times. The stronger the strength of the holder, the more terrifying the increase, and there is even no upper limit. Boil daegu into soup, that. Can Dijia use this thing? How strong is Tiga? If the blessing of the bull amulet increases 100 times, then what's the point of fighting monsters, just melee? Master. Should I, Tiga, play mage? Dongfang Booby, the rabbit charm can give the holder the world's fastest speed, which is equivalent to a certain distance of teleportation, and this blessing is together with the reaction force. Dongfang Invincible, I can understand these, but after being shot by the ion cycle, you can still travel through time and space. Is this a little too much? Although I can't come back through time travel, but can't I come back by relying on the crystal ball of the Holy Lord? This is not a defect at all. Speaking of which, what is an ion cycle? Why does it look like a laser? Is it okay to use sparkling fruit? Ganwumiai Xiaobu, then here comes the problem. Ganwumiai Xiaobu, how did you get sealed with so many powerful abilities? Ganwumiai Xiaobu, the first time was because of Lu Dongbin, what about the second time? Ganwumiai Xiaobu, Lu Dongbin is a god, I can understand, but how did he get sealed the second time? Boil daegu into soup, even if the opposite is a fairy, you can escape. Boil daegu into soup, if you use the rabbit charm to escape, they may not be able to catch up with you, right? Electric shocker, isn't the monkey charm able to transform others? And after being transformed, the power will also become weaker. Electric shocker, have you never tried turning your opponent into an animal? Electric shocker, or are there any restrictions? Father is kind and son is filial to old things. The Holy Master wanted to say something, but when he saw these people, he suddenly felt that he seemed a little stupid before being sealed by Lopez, not to mention escaping. How could he escape as the king of demons? But why didn't I use the monkey charm to turn Lopez into an animal? Oh, it was because he was too arrogant at the time. After all, the other party was a human being, so how could he be afraid of a human being? Naturally, let the other party use the means. That's why he was fixed by the dead scroll, and then his power was taken away by Lopez, son of nature. The first two seals are actually nothing to talk about. Son of nature, one is Lu Dongbin, one of the 8 immortals, and the other Lopi is not a simple character. Son of nature, what's more, the Holy Lord was the ruler at that time. With such great power, he naturally didn't think that he would lose to humans, and he never thought that there would be a scroll in Lopez's hand that could restrain him. Son of nature, these 2 times are nothing, but the next few times, I can only say yes. Ordinary group owner, bad brain and bad luck. Ordinary group leader, the resurrection was sealed once, and once even used bug-level things like the history of the years, but it was turned over. Ordinary group leader, although you have the appearance of Eastern Dragon and Western Dragon, you are also a flame demon, but please respect your own strength. Ordinary group leader, don't pretend that you don't have those spells, just know how to breathe fire and fight melee. There is a mage in front of you. And the 13th district, known as the safest place, how many times have they been stolen? Probably not as safe as the trash can in front. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. So you just say it, can you send me the situation of being sealed later? Knowing that he will be sealed 6 more times in the future, even if he got the time history book, his heart is about to burst. Is my future self really that trashy? Being resurrected one after another, and then being sealed one after another. Do you think I am playing a city tour for a few days? Once there was an opportunity to change his destiny in front of him, but he didn't cherish it, and regretted it from now on. If the time could be repeated, he would kindly call each group member brothers and sisters when he joined the group, and become close to them family. End of this chapter. Chapter 75. The Devil's Chapter. Betrayal is a normal thing, right? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 75. If the devil is talking, betrayal is normal, right? The richest man in the lighthouse. It's too straightforward for you to speak one by one. The richest man in the lighthouse. I'm not like them, I just want to make friends with you. The richest man in the lighthouse. If the traversal function of the chat group is enabled, I will go to your world to help you resurrect. The richest man in the lighthouse. Of course, as you know, I'm a businessman, so I need a little chips, not many, just a few spells. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. You might as well be more direct. To put it bluntly, don't you want your own spell? Father, loving son, filial piety, old thing. You send me my future, and when I break the seal, you can choose any power other than rat charms, tiger charms, and dragon charms. In order to be resurrected, the Holy Master also gritted his teeth and paid a high price. But right, ordinary group leader, do you think I'm stupid? Ordinary group leader, don't think I'm easy to cheat just because I'm young. Ordinary group leader, you promised Valen not to give him the treasure. Ordinary group leader, I promised to revive other demons, but I didn't fulfill it. Ordinary group leader, it would be strange if I believed you. The Holy Master has nothing to refute about this. Although the matter of not giving Valen's treasure has not yet started, he is indeed not going to give it, but the spell is fine. He is indeed going to see the strength of other group members before considering whether he will really give it. Ganwumiai Xiaobu, well, the Lord is a fire demon, and also a kind of demon. For a demon, betrayal is normal, right? Uchiha Dance King, indeed. Boil Daegu into soup, girl, you discovered your blind spot. The richest man in the lighthouse, it's undeniable that it's unexpected. Worst elf, one thing I never thought of. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, so, let's wait until the time-traveling function is turned on, we go to your world and get what we want before resurrecting you. Ordinary group owner, we are not like you, we will regret it. Ordinary group leader, but after the resurrection, if you want to occupy the mountain and become king and go to other places, Huaxia can't do it. For Su Yunqing, China is China after all, no matter which world you are in. You can be a king if you want, but you can't be in China, let alone slaughter the people of China wantonly. This is something she cannot stand. Father is kind and son is filial to old things. Father is kind and son is filial to the old man, I know. The current situation is intolerable, it is better to wither for a while, and then consider it after resurrection. Before that, let's go to the memory copy first. The information shows that it contains the future of other group members, so we can also distinguish their strength. The traversal function has not been activated after all. According to the rules of the chat group on the number of members, it is estimated that it will not be possible to activate the new function until there are 15 group members. There are only 13 group members not counting the group leader, and there are still 2. The time and number of new members joining the chat group are random, so they don't know when they will arrive, but it shouldn't take much time. Bai Xian is of course very interested in traveling to the world of other group members, but he is not in such a hurry, nor was he without other things to do. Since the change of mentality, Bai Xian's understanding of nature has deepened, and so has his control over nature. The ability to communicate with everything that was awakened because he wanted to communicate with Pikachu also changed because of him. In Bai Xuan's understanding, his communication with all things is limited to creatures in nature, such as various animals and plants. This is just a relatively powerful translation function, but he did not expect that the communication of all things is not limited to living things, but also includes a great and supreme existence, the earth. The earth is thinking. But this is not the definition of science, nor is it psychology or psychological science, but from the mystery. Chat group enables Reiki recovery to screen group members, who is communicating with world awareness. To be precise, the consciousness of the earth, it can also be said to be the way of heaven, the will of heaven, and the will of the civilized community. This kind of will and thinking is not the definition of science, but exists more in a series of works that are different from current science, such as myths, novels, Buddhist scriptures, and Taoist scriptures. These, collectively, are called mysteries. Since there is thinking on the earth, the consciousness of the earth is of course a communicable existence, even if it is defined by mystery. Not only the earth, but even the universe has its own thinking. Of course, by Xian, the consciousness of the universe cannot communicate for the time being, and he has not tried it. The consciousness of the earth is also in a deep sleep most of the time, except for the first communication between Bai Xian and him. He is in a deep sleep at other times. And the content of the exchange at that time was nothing more than some things about natural authority, but the consciousness of the earth didn't tell him what to explain. It only gave Bai Xian a kind of consciousness that you will know in the future, and then stopped talking. Bai Xian was also extremely helpless about this. But also because of the communication with the consciousness of the earth, let him know that the ability to communicate with all things is far more powerful than he imagined. Since the earth consciousness can communicate, what about other things? Like luck. According to mysticism, each country also has its own national destiny consciousness, so, can they communicate? The answer is of course yes, although it is impossible to communicate freely like humans, and not all questions can be answered. It is indeed possible to communicate. China's national destiny appears in the form of a dragon like a totem. Also because Bai Xian is a member of Huaxia, he can feel a strong sense of affinity from it. With the help of the fortune of the country, Bai Xian can know all kinds of things in China. For example, a certain place contains minerals and treasures, a certain place has special natural and earthly treasures, a certain place has a talented and powerful superhuman or mutant creature. He can know everything in China. Even underground in Huaxia, there is a layer of mysterious space that cannot be described in words. There, Bai Xian saw pure light spheres without any impurities, and countless light spheres formed a dazzling ocean. In the dark, there is a consciousness telling him that every ball of light inside is a person who has appeared in China, but this ocean is not the so-called hell, and there is no reincarnation. Reincarnation might really exist, but it doesn't. These balls of light contain only the memories of all Chinese creatures, not souls. If Bai Xian wanted to, as the owner of natural authority, he could of course extract someone's memory, transfer it into a body that could hold it, and transform it into a similar soul. End of this chapter. Chapter 76. The closer to God, the farther from people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It looks similar to the movie where people's memories are extracted as data, and then transferred to other people or robots. Perhaps this method can also be regarded as a kind of resurrection, but Bai Xian has no such interest, and he has no one he wants to resurrect. Such a sea of consciousness exists not only in China, but also in other countries. As for why all the seas of consciousness are not merged together but exist in a certain space as a country, then he is not clear. He was not very curious about it. Today's Bai Xian, although he still doesn't have the spiritual will to match his strength, has improved a lot compared to the past, especially the communication with the consciousness of the world and the consciousness of civilization, as well as witnessing the shocking sea of memory, have sublimated his soul. Even the whole person exudes a natural and yearning atmosphere, that is a special charm from the sublimation of the soul, but this does not mean that he will be watched and approached by many people when he goes out. On the contrary, those whose mental power is too weak and whose extraordinary power has not reached a certain level will either lower their heads or actively move away when they see Bai Xian. Open your eyes. Of course, this is not because Bai Xian possesses the majesty and aura of a high-ranking person, it is just because his life essence is too powerful, which makes ordinary people make such actions involuntarily. To some extent, when your life realm evolves, you are no longer an ordinary person, there will inevitably be some changes in the original life and communication, for example, falling in love. Even without mentioning love, boys always like to watch some beautiful things. Bai Xian is no exception. At that time, Bai Xian just awakened, natural authority, not long ago, because he realized the importance of physical fitness, so his physical fitness began to improve at an extremely fast speed, so the five senses such as smell, sight, and hearing were also strengthened. Smell and hearing can be tolerated by Bai Xian, but vision. At that time, Bai Xuan's vision had not yet reached the point where he could directly see the bones like clairvoyant eyes, but he was only able to notice more clearly the sludge in the pores of the opponent's body and even crawling on the skin. Of mites, the key is that this is something that comes with the physique and cannot be controlled, because it is not an ability. Of course he can use some means to control it, but it's like a person with good eyesight wearing glasses, which is unbearable. Under such circumstances, how could he be interested in the opposite sex? Qin Tian is the person with the strongest physical body besides Bai Xian. If Bai Xian's talent of divine dragon powers were not there, he would definitely be the strongest in China. Not even one of them, although other people can compare with Qin Tian in terms of talent and supernatural powers, they all have shortcomings more or less, and, physique, is one of the most deadly shortcomings of others, but Qin Tian didn't. The improvement of his abilities was all round. You can control the wind and thunder and call the wind and rain, you can also sanctify your body and fight at close range. Therefore, he was also the first person besides Bai Xian to discover the abnormality. However, because the strength of the supernatural beings around him is not bad, the amount of aura contained in his body is not too much, and the impurities are not too many, so there is no strange emotion. The improvement of the essence of life is destined to change many things. The stronger the strength, the more so. The closer you are to God, the farther you are from man. The dragon does not live with the snake, and the tiger does not walk with the dog. This is the truth. During this period, Bai Xian bought some tree fruit seeds from Miao Miao, as well as the equipment and production methods for making energy cubes. Don't ask where Miao Miao got it, it can only be said that the channels within the rockets are indeed diverse. Buying these things is not only for Pikachu and others, but also the fruit itself has many functions. Coupled with the nourishment of spiritual energy, it might become even stronger. The fact is just as Bai Xian thought, not only the effect, but also the taste is much better than the original tree fruit. Today, when Bai Xian was making the elf cube, he frowned at a jingle, and then loosened it again, showing a surprised look. Ding! It is detected that the activity of the chat group has reached the standard, and the group mall function is activated. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader. Wow, I'm not dreaming, am I? Ordinary group owner. The group mall is really open. Boil daegu into soup. Does that mean that I don't need to draw a lottery, and I can buy things directly in the chat group? Be my son. Ku la la la. This old man has been coveting the fairy body of Naruto world for a long time. I don't know how many points it takes. Ganwu miai xiaobu. Oh, I feel like it's completely useless to me. Ganwu miai xiaobu. I don't have many points, I can only look at it. Ordinary group owner. Speaking of points, I don't seem to have many. Ordinary group owner. I'm going to earn points. Ordinary group leader. Aristocratic disciples. Peerless Jinjiao. You are the ones who beat you. Ordinary group leader. Come over here, treasures of heaven and earth. Uchiha Dance King. Among these group members, the most complicated one is Uchiha Madara. Points are not afraid. As long as he is resurrected, there will be no less, but the premise is that he is resurrected. Now he is still in the state of soul body. What is going on? This function is useless to him now. Ganwu miai xiaobu, the richest person in the chat group should be Daegu, right? After all, monster corpses are worth a lot. Boil Daegu into soup. It's not that exaggerated. In fact, I only earn a little. Sorry. Jpg. Bai Xian didn't watch their communication, but just opened the group mall and took a look at the things inside, from as small as toothbrushes and cups to as large as fate and luck, 3-color domineering, devil fruit, sharing eyes, reincarnation eyes, fruit of the sacred tree, practice skills, heaven and earth treasures, and peace bullets are all available. The price is not cheap, eh? Natural smoke fruit even needs, points. Bai Xian naturally has no idea about the devil fruit. What he wants is the mouse charm among the 12 charms, 100 million points. The price seems high, but it's not that high. It can also be seen from the price that the rat charm must have an upper limit, and the upper limit is not high. It is probably related to the strength of the Holy Master himself, but this is nothing to Bai Xian, and what he cares about is not the opponent's fighting power after turning the static into dynamic. From beginning to end, all he wanted was Doraemon, nothing more. As for whether there is a four-dimensional pocket, he doesn't care. Of course, it may also be used to try other things, such as a Chinese brand mobile phone. In addition to these commodities belonging to the worlds of their respective group members, there are also some from other worlds, but at present, there are only 10 products, and they will be refreshed every 7 days. End of this chapter. Chapter 77. The group mall is open. You don't want to believe in the light. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiando, an item from the world of Dragon Ball, which has the power of regeneration. As long as a person is not dead, it can restore physical strength and energy in the shortest time, nearly instantaneously, in extreme fatigue, and readjust the body to the best state, and it can be eaten 10 days without hunger. Exchange price, points. Water of life, an item from the magical world, which contains a large amount of life energy, which can quickly recover from injuries and prolong life. A drop of water of life can extend life by 10 years. Exchange price, points. Fire Dragon Slayer magic, magic in the fairy world, transforming one's physique into a dragon's body. The magic used to kill dragons, can have the physique of a fire dragon, dragon scales, dragon claws, dragon teeth, etc., has a very strong effect on flames resistance, and has the ability to crush ordinary flames. Exchange price, 100 million points. Shuttle Talisman, an item that can travel to the world of group members, but requires the permission of the group members in this world. Exchange price, points. Most of the things are from the world that Bai Xian knows. In addition to the fairy beans and dragon slayer magic, there are Zanpakuto, Ultraman Transformer, Fire Crystal, and other items. The prices are also different, one after another. Among them, the most expensive one is the Fire Spar, which requires 500 million points. The price is indeed a bit scary, but thinking about the setting of Yanlong armor, if it is really unlimited, then this price is actually acceptable. The Ultraman Transformer, according to the introduction, is just a very ordinary Ultraman, without even a name. However, because Ultraman's huge size itself possesses powerful strength, the price is not low, requiring 70 points. The cheapest one is the Shuttle Talisman, which is also the only permanent item in the special mall. It will always exist no matter how other commodities change. Ordinary Group Owner, this price is a bit expensive. Ordinary Group Leader, an ordinary animal system ranges from 30 to 30, and the natural system is generally 70. The sparkling fruit and lava fruit cost, Most of the phantom beasts are also in the original flavor except Chopper. Around, Luffy's one needs, Ordinary Group Leader, it's so expensive, that this is still an unoptimized devil fruit with shortcomings, not only afraid of sea water, but also afraid of sea stones. Wouldn't it be more expensive to want to optimize? Uchiha Dance King, does reincarnation? I only need 200 million points. It's beyond my expectation. Uchiha Dance King, but according to the introduction, reincarnation cannot be used in other worlds by nature, so it can be explained. Although the other abilities of Samsara Eye are equally powerful, in Uchiha Madara's eyes, its most powerful ability is resurrection. This kind of resurrection is even a bug-free resurrection, and multiple people can be resurrected with one person's life. If this ability cannot be used in other worlds, then the price of only 200 million is acceptable. Holy Master Rat Charm. There was a little struggle in the eyes of the Holy Lord. Although the price of the Rat Charm is not cheap, but as the King of Demons, how could it be possible that the fire demon who ruled Asia at the beginning had no inheritance at all? If it is only 100 million, it can be produced. It's just because of his current state that he can't enter the treasure house. If he can reach an agreement with a certain group member, as long as the other party puts those wealth in front of him, he can rely on recycling to convert them into points and then exchange them for the Rat Charm to resurrect. But what if the other party has the same personality as him and breaks the contract after entering the treasure house with his help? But if he didn't pay the price, it was impossible for the other party to believe him. The richest man in the lighthouse. Don't talk about these things, the key is why is there something wrong with me, that the richest man in the lighthouse. What is that infinite gemstone? Why is it so expensive, that the richest man in the lighthouse? Oh, I remembered, you guys said this thing before, it's the purple potato that wants to destroy the ordinary creatures in the universe, isn't it? That the richest man in the lighthouse, an infinite gem with 1,000 million points, how about grabbing money? Son of nature, with 1,000 million points. I personally think it is relatively affordable for infinity stones. From the setting point of view, just the fact that the infinite stones contain infinite energy is enough for 1,000 million points, not to mention that energy is only the ability attached to them. Ordinary group leader, add 1. Ordinary group owner, although I think it is very expensive, the price is not a problem with these products, but a problem with me personally. Ordinary group owner, it's actually quite affordable. The worst elf, after all, the items in the chat group come from our world, and many of them are even our own abilities, we still think it's too cheap. Boil Daegu into soup, and what the hell is that Daegu template? Why is there only the super ancient warrior gene in it? Boil Daegu into soup, why don't you sell it separately? Electric shocker, are you sure there are only super ancient genes? Isn't there a full level of crash skills? Boil Daegu into soup. Boil Daegu into soup, in fact, you don't need to pay too much attention to it. Forget about him, Xinsheng is the ace pilot in the victory team, why did the two of them become a crash duo? Either crashing or on the way to crash, the richest man in the lighthouse, ahem, oh, no, I'm sorry, I forgot that you have changed your name. The richest man in the lighthouse, I took a look at the special mall just now, and there are shuttle charms for sale. The richest man in the lighthouse, do you need me to help you? As long as you nod, I don't even need a reward. Ordinary group owner, everyone is a member of the chat group, and it is very important to help each other. Boil Daegu into soup. Daegu is the incarnation of light, and being willing to help others is my good quality. Boil Daegu into soup, serious.jpg. Electric shocker, +1 be my son, ku la la la, this kind of thing can't forget the old man. Uchiha Mayo, so, what's your decision? Holy Master. Holy Master, no need, I thank you. It was just a suspicion before, but now if he agrees, he will definitely be robbed of all the charms by this group of people, right? It's not just a spell, who knows if there is a hiding place of his own wealth in that memory copy, or even the place where the history books are located. At that time, even if they left a rat charm for themselves to resurrect themselves, the world left to them would be of no value at all, would it? The richest man in the lighthouse, cut. Ordinary group leader, it's boring. The worst elf, I'm ready to buy the shuttle talisman. Boil Daegu into soup, it's okay for them, I'm light. Boil Daegu into soup, you don't even believe in light. End of this chapter. Chapter 78 Chinese brand 2060 mobile phones, silly girl at your service. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Holy Lord, I am a devil. Holy Lord, which demon have you ever seen believe in light? Boil Daegu into soup, dangdong.jpg. Boil Daegu into soup, I am speechless.jpg. Boil Daegu into soup, obviously I really only plan to take a little bit away. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, you've turned bad too, Daegu. Boil Daegu into soup, scratch your head. Jpg. Boil Daegu into soup, it's all taught by you. The opening of the Kun Mall made Baishuan's life a little bit more busy. After all, he wanted to buy the rat charm. 100 million points is not so easy even for him, so he went to the sea several times in the past few days. In terms of the number of mutated creatures, the sea is definitely far more than the land, and there are not a few people with extraordinary talents. Bai Xian even discovered many mutated sea creatures that were comparable to Huo Yu and the others, and even stronger than them. The huge size combined with the derived ability, the strength is very terrifying, but for Bai Xian, there is no difference. Among them, the most powerful and largest mutated sea creatures are processed, deprived of their abilities, and their huge bodies are condensed into a single bead, then put it in the chat group for recycling. After dealing with many sea animals in this way, Bai Xian's points reached a terrifying 80. At this point, Bai Xian didn't continue, and sent 80 to the group leader Su Yunqing, which was considered a deal between him and the group leader. Su Yunqing knew that he wanted to buy the rat charm, and also knew that it would not be difficult to get 100 million points with his strength, so take the initiative to contact him. Relying on his group owner privilege, you can buy items in the mall with a % discount. Ask Bai Xian to give her the points, and then she will help Bai Xian buy, but need 1/10 of the points as a reward. For this, Bai Xian naturally has no reason to disagree, because this is the privilege of the group owner in itself. The group members paid 2/10 of the points less, and the group owner earned 1/10 of the points, which is a win-win result. But Bai Xian didn't expect that Su Yunqing's group leader's privilege was only % off. Generally speaking, isn't it % off, or even % off? As for whether Su Yunqing was lying, looking at the group leader who was banned again for venting his dissatisfaction with the group leader's % privilege in a private chat with him, Bai Xian really couldn't think that Su Yunqing was lying. Besides, even if you lied, so what? The chat group itself is the hang of the group owner, and the others are just incidental. Isn't Bai Xian's hook still small? Playing with the rat charm in his hand, Bai Xian could sense the power of life contained in the rat charm, but besides the power of life, there were other energies, but that was not the power that Bai Xian could understand. But I didn't expect it to be attractive to you. I hope that after you absorb it, you will be able to give birth to an ability that surprises me. The corners of Bai Xuan's mouth turned up slightly, and the rat charm in his hand slowly dissipated, turning into a streak of gray energy that merged into his body. At the same time, Bai Xuan's natural authority also derived a new ability, which was a more powerful ability based on the rat charm. It seems to be possible. As the rat talisman merged into natural authority, Bai Xian found that he really seemed to have the ability of the rat talisman. Without the slightest hesitation, Bai Xian controlled the elements in the natural world and directly constructed a crystal doll. Hold it in your hand. A mysterious power is transmitted to the crystal doll through Bai Xuan's arm. Starve to death, starve to death, starve to death. Suddenly, the crystal doll in Bai Xian's hand made a sound, and Bai Xian smiled when he heard the sound, and put it under the sun. Let's eat that. I don't know if the sunlight in this world is more venomous, or it is transformed by Bai Xian, which transforms energy more quickly. He didn't make Bai Xian wait too long before he heard a new voice. I'm full, I'm full. It's still the last step. Bai Xian picked it up, tapped the crystal doll's nose lightly. A stream of green data kept turning in the crystal doll's body. Chinese brand 2060 mobile phone. Silly girl is at your service. Please enter the power on password. I love you. The password is entered correctly. Please enter the mode options. Real person mode or mobile phone mode. Reality mode. Please enter the expression status option. You can choose one of the following options. Stupid, sad, bad, cool. Choose to be good. Bai Xian didn't continue to listen, and spoke directly, as a stream of data flashed by. A slender and charming Shu woman in a red cropped dress just like Bai Xian's impression appeared in front of him. Enter the function options. Please select the service you need. Function transfer. Yes. Afterwards, Shan Yo turned into a stream of data and merged into Bai Xuan's body, and Bai Xian also felt a brand new and completely different mysterious power. Communication function, medical function, flight function, these don't matter. What he wants to know more is the space-time travel function, trying to use it, but what followed was a reminder of world awareness in the dark. The barriers of time and space in this world are too strong to go back to the past. Let alone travel to the future, but other functions are available. After the experiment, Bai Xian nodded in satisfaction. Generally speaking, this silly girl who has become a living creature because of his ability is no different from the one in the magic phone, and the inability to travel through time and space is only because his world barriers are too strong. If you are in a magic phone or other world with weak barriers, then this function can also be used. Now that the magic phone is successful, then Doraemon should not be a problem. Even some props in the four-dimensional pocket still retain some functions. It is not just a dead object with a prototype, but the ability derived from being absorbed by natural authority to turn static into dynamic and break through the limitations of dimension seems to be more special than the rat charm itself. Maybe even items from the anime world would do. A light flashed in Bai Xian's eyes, if his guess is correct, then this ability is indeed a treasure. How to develop it also requires a certain amount of imagination. On the other side, Huo Yu looked at the report in his hand with a confused expression. On it was a list of items that Bai Xian wanted. Shenguang Rod. Dark Divine Light Rod. 5-element Spar and Armor Summoner. A 1-to-1 model of a devil fruit. A figurine of the angel in the Dongbin company. But you don't need the 3 kings of angels. What's all this? Are you sure Bai Xian asked us to buy it? Didn't you want it yourself? Huo Yu looked at the person in front of him, widened his eyes and said, end of this chapter. Chapter 79. The meeting between Huo Yu and silly girl, fatty Lan Doraemon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. She knew that Bai Xian had joined a platform created by a great being to communicate with the heavens and myriad worlds, and even had characters from the anime world. She was also prepared that Bai Xian might ask them for something. For example, there is a lack of food in a certain world, backward technology in a certain world. How is a certain world, but the magic light stick, devil fruit model, armor summoner, angel figures? What can these things be used for? Favorite? This is different from what they thought at the beginning. She still remembered that when she reported the information to the higher-ups, their expressions were bewildered, and they even cared about Bai Xian's psychological state. In the end, although he was the one who convinced himself, he believed in such an almost impossible fact that he would never believe before the spiritual energy recovered. The emphasis on Bai Xian was raised to a higher level. Afterwards, he even promised Huo Yu that if Bai Xian had anything he wanted to do within Huaxia, as long as it did not break the law, in a word, as long as he wants, as long as we have, but these, Huo Yu felt that she couldn't understand Bai Xian's operations more and more. These are just figurines imitating anime, and they are useless except for collecting. No matter how exquisite they are, they can't come true. And many more. Could it be that? No. In Huo Yu's mind, he once again thought of what he said before, that anime and manga are creations of man, and man is a part of nature, so Bai Xian can summon the items in the anime world to reality. Of course, this is just a joke. Later, Bai Xian also attributed Susanoo and Kaleidoscope Sharingan to the platform created by that great existence. Huo Yu naturally believed it. After all, she doesn't think natural can really do this. But now, she was a little suspicious again. It's not that he doubts whether Bai Xian has really joined a platform created by a great being that can connect the heavens and worlds, but whether Bai Xian really doesn't have the ability to realize the items in the world of animation and comics into reality. Otherwise, what did he buy these things for? Comrade Huo Yu, you know me well. Although I like these things, compared to the devil fruit model, Ultraman transformation device, and Armor Warrior transformation device, I want the 1-to-1 meticulously crafted female Emperor Boya Hancock's figure. Hinata figures of Robin, the subordinate who reported to Huo Yu said seriously. Hey, women in reality can't make you fantasize, can they? Huo Yu looked at the other party with a look of disgust, and said angrily. Really? The subordinate also said seriously. Okay, you go back. Huo Yu waved her hand, but didn't want to say anything. She, a member of the Reiki Bureau, was a person who was very obsessed with two-dimensional before. I heard that the walls of the dormitory were covered with pictures of two-dimensional heroines, including teacups, keyboards and even clothes. Are you addicted to two-dimensional? I am too embarrassed to tell you. After the member left, Huo Yu shook his head and made a phone call to have these things delivered in the shortest possible time. Then Huo Yu stood up and left directly. Anyway, there are so many things to do, staying here is also boring. It is better to ask Bai Xian for the specific purpose of these things. As for whether they can get an answer, it should be possible. I always feel that the current Bai Xian is very different from before. He seems to not care about the leakage of some extremely important information in their eyes, just like the matter of that platform. If she got it, she would definitely not tell anyone. Bai Xian seemed to have the same idea at first, but for some unknown reason, it seemed that he had figured something out and then he didn't care much about it. Because the office of the Reiki Bureau is not far from Bai Xuan's villa, Huo Yu soon came over. Then as soon as I entered the door, I saw a woman. Woman? You came. Bai Xian glanced at Huo Yu, who was stunned at the door as if he saw something incredible, and said lightly, then he continued to move his hands. You her. Huo Yu pointed at the woman in the red dress that exposed her navel, and looked at Bai Xian in a daze. What the hell? Where is the woman from? Forget about other places, why is there a woman here in Bai Xian? Sister Huo Yu, please come in. Brother Bai Xian is currently busy. Under Shan You's call, Huo Yu came in a daze. Until she sat down, she still couldn't figure out why there was an extra woman in Bai Xuan's place. Could it be that Bai Xian has reached this age? The third year of high school seems to be similar, but why did she call him Brother Bai Xian? No matter how you think about it, it should be the younger brother, right? Sibling love. By the way, why does this outfit look familiar, and how this face looks more and more like Xu Chang when he was young? You are. I'm a Chinese brand 2060 mobile phone, silly girl. I was created by Brother Bai Xian. Silly girl said to Huo Yu obediently. Stupid girl. Damn it. Unable to hold back for a moment, Huo Yu subconsciously swears, of course she has seen the magic phone. After all, it was filmed by CCTV, and it was relatively famous at the time. When she was watching it, she always wanted a mobile phone like Shan Yu. Of course, when I grew up, I also thought about it. If I didn't see the mobile phone in 2060, I would sue the screenwriter and director directly. Now, because of the revival of aura and innovations in technology, silly girls may really be created in the future, but other functions are possible, and space-time travel is impossible. But she didn't expect that she would see a silly girl and a real magic phone in Bai Xuan's place. Wouldn't she be given to you by someone from the magic phone world? Could it be Lu Xiaoqian? What did you give him to give you his wife? Huo Yu looked at Bai Xian and asked blankly. No, I did it myself. Bai Xian said while doing the task at hand. After the things in hand were finished, a smile appeared on Bai Xian's face. Finished. Then erect the statue upright. Huo Yu also walked to Bai Xian's side, looking curiously at what Bai Xian had finished. Then he was stunned for a moment. It has a round head, blue-white skin, a golden bell around its neck, and a white pocket on its stomach. Blue Fat Doraemon. Her impression of this anime is much deeper than that of Hokage and pirates. But why did Hakujin make a Doraemon model? Is it just like she thought, wanting to realize Doraemon into reality? Thinking of this, Huo Yu's eyes gradually filled with heat and anticipation. After all, that is Doraemon. Anyone who has seen Doraemon can't refuse a cute and lovely Doraemon. End of this chapter. Chapter 80. Seeing Pikachu's Doraemon, I want to destroy you damn mice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Xian didn't care about Huo Yu's thoughts. He just put his hand on Doraemon's head with anticipation, and a strange power was transferred from his hand to Doraemon's body. Accompanied by the transformation of energy, Doraemon's originally sluggish eyes became energetic, and he tilted his head and looked curiously at the two people in front of him. Who are you? Doraemon is really alive. Although he was prepared in his heart, when things really happened in front of him, Huo Yu couldn't help being a little unbelievable. Transforming the items in the anime into reality, this kind of thing is already like a god. Nice to meet you, Doraemon. Let me tell you about the situation first. Seeing Doraemon alive in front of him, Bai Xian couldn't help but smile. I see, is this another world? I'm also just a character in a comic book. Doraemon sat on the sofa and watched the story of him and Nobita played on the TV, always feeling a strange feeling in his heart. It's not that unacceptable. Anyway, he was originally a robot created by humans. Even if he replaced a scientist with a cartoonist, it wouldn't make that much difference to him. As for the matter with Nobita, he has no relevant memories. But if I appear here, what will happen to the original world? Doraemon looked at Bai Xian with big eyes, and said nervously. Strictly speaking, the you who appear here are just the clone of the real Doraemon, and your appearance has no effect on the original world. Bai Xian also said seriously, but he hesitated later. Doraemon, bringing you back to life is just to satisfy my own selfish desires. I want to have a dream of you no matter when I was a child or now. That's not really respectful of you. If you don't want to, I can change you back to the previous state. Doraemon shook his head when he heard Bai Xian's words. As you said, Bai Xian, I am just a clone of Doraemon in the work. There is still a Doraemon who grows up with Nobita in the original world. Compared with Nobita, you need me more, isn't it? And because it's the reason for your resurrection, Bai Xian, I feel that Bai Xian is very kind to you. Is that so? That would be great. Bai Xian smiled again. At this time, two Pikachus who noticed that the master had finished their work suddenly walked in from the yard. After taking a look at Huo Yu, they jumped curiously onto Doraemon's big smooth head. One of them he only squinted his eyes and rubbed, and seemed to like the touch very much. Ah, mouse, mouse, mouse. Doraemon's eyes suddenly turned into circle symbols, and he stood up from the sofa and kept turning his body, then take out various props from the four-dimensional pocket on the stomach. Damn rats, I want to destroy you. After throwing out a bunch of unknown props, he took out an obvious gun-like item. Overlord gun. Hot wire gun. Earth destroyer. Forget about this, forget about this. Huo Yu hurriedly took the two Pikachu away. She didn't remember the function of the Overlord gun and the heat gun due to time, but she could hear the Earth destroyer bomb behind it clearly. As for whether it really has the ability to destroy the Earth, she dare not bet on it. And she suspects that no one will doubt Doraemon's props. Pikachu. Pikachu. The two Pikachu were hugged by Fire Feather, looking at Doraemon curiously, wondering why Doraemon was so afraid of them. It's okay Doraemon, this is Pikachu. It's also a character in anime just like you, not a pure mouse. If you take a closer look, you should think they are cute. And they're not based on mice but on squirrels. Squirrel, you shouldn't be afraid, right? Bai Xian comforted Doraemon, and said softly. Not even a squirrel. But when he heard that it was the same character in the anime, his trembling body opened his eyes reluctantly, just in time to meet the eyes of the two Pikachu. Pikachu. Pick up. The two Pikachu waved their arms to Doraemon and greeted them cordially. They seemed to feel the kindness of Pikachu, and their painting styles were indeed different from those of mice, but they were somewhat similar. The fear in Doraemon's heart also slowly faded away. Hi everybody. Reluctantly, Doraemon said hello to Pikachu. Pick up, pick up. Pikachu. The two Pikachus suddenly broke free from Huo Yu's embrace, and then jumped onto Doraemon's arms and head, rubbing against him affectionately. It's itchy, ha ha ha, don't make trouble. I really can't help you. Doraemon was made to lie on the ground by two Pikachu, and smiled itchily. The last fear of Pikachu in my heart disappeared. What, is this not the same as a mouse at all? Seeing Doraemon and Pikachu playing so well, Bai Xian also heaved a sigh of relief. He only cared about manifesting Doraemon, but forgot that Doraemon was afraid of mice. To be precise, he never regarded Pikachu as a mouse in his heart, although its scientific name is indeed an electric mouse. Huo Yu looked at the two oversized gun props on the ground with a look of apprehension, Overlord guns and heat guns. Well, Doraemon, your props should not be as powerful as in the anime, right? Doraemon's technology is really scary. For example, the demon passport, as long as you show it, no matter what you do, you will be forgiven by the other party. Another example is cursing the camera. As long as you take a photo of that person, the person who is photographed will suffer the same damage if you do anything to the doll. Just like a spell, and the dictator button, the human maker, the if phone booth. Okay. The power of props. Doraemon froze for a moment when he heard Huo Yu's words, then scratched his head. It seems to be a little weaker, but as long as it is on this planet, it will be fine. As long as it's on Earth it's fine. Huo Yu's eyes widened. Wouldn't that mean he didn't say anything? What she wants to know is the real world, and the real world is only the world under her feet for her. Where's the demon passport? As long as it's on Earth. What about the time stopper? As long as it's on Earth. What about a phone booth? As long as it's on Earth, huh? It doesn't seem to work. Doraemon seemed to have noticed something, and suddenly stopped what he wanted to say, and some new information appeared in his mind. If there are restrictions on the phone booth, it can be used but may have unknown consequences. End of this chapter.